one of the loaded grain barges right up to the gunnels. There's the old Narrowboat Dodger. That's where we stopped last night on the pontoon at River Severn. Morning, or whatever it is where you may be watching this video. Right, we're on the Severn. Today's stage, River Severn down to Gloucester Lock. We'll be passing through one lock, which is load lock, upper load lock. Or is it lower load lock? Upper load lock, I think it is. And yeah, so we're going through there. The weather is not so nice today, unfortunately. It's absolutely been peeing it down all morning, and the weather, it did say it's going to kind of brighten up a little bit this afternoon, but it's not going to be sunbathing weather. So yeah, wet weather on again. Life preserver. Yeah, I think that's about it. Engine's nice and warm. Always warm the engine up before I start the boat. I always head off on the boat, so yeah, let's do it. Last day on the river. This is why you don't moor with the bow upstream. This is what was all around the bow of my boat this morning. So that would have been right up the propeller potentially if we'd have moored the other way around. So always moor with the bow facing the stream on a river. Right, so we're going to just make our turn, go back into the stream. We should turn around quite quickly because we've got the current flowing us, the flow of the current, sorry, pushing us. So this should be a lot easier than yesterday's. Just keeping an eye out for crap in the water. Just gonna pop round, get around the prop. Yeah, and also keeping an eye out for the aggregate barges. You don't want to turn around in front of one of them, that's for sure. Right, so we're turning around quite nicely at the moment. Too near the other side. Alright. That's where we stayed last night, on the old pontoon. Right, we're about. Nice little 180. I've left the chimney up today because I've got the fire going, and I don't think there's any chance of hitting the bridges with the chimney on this river. So yeah, so next stop, load lock, Tewkesbury. Right, so there's the moorings last night, and there's the frontage of Upton. We've got all the pubs. We've got the Ploughs, good pub. The King's Head, that has a different owner every time I come up here. Keeps going bankrupt. Oh, we've got a grain barge, aggregate barge coming, so I better get right over. The boathouse, I've never been in there, and you've got the Swan on the end, which is good, but expensive. So that's Ralph's pub. Oh, and you got the Star Inn over there, and the behind that is the Anchor Inn, which is in my view the best pub in Upton. Sell butty back. And then at the top of the high street you've got the Muggery, which is yeah, it's nice, but the woman that owns it's a bit of a miserable old git. Yeah. We've got a grain barge coming here, so I'm just trying and get out of his way because he's bigger than me. Yeah, and you can moor here, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to say. You can. There's moorings there. There's actually a floating pontoon there now. I've never seen that there before. Yeah, so keep out of the way the aggregate barges. They always have right away because they're especially if they're going downstream, they'll be loaded like the video earlier on. This guy's coming back up now to the place I showed you in the last vlog where they load them. So we'll be coming back down later, and when he comes down he'll be right down to the gunnels. Yeah, the mighty River Severn, which as you can see is still a working river. wave. Look at the weight coming off of this, see? Reshifting. See the wake here, look, you should have slowed down a bit really, a bit naughty. Yeah, if I'd had an air-cooled engine with inlets on the side, that'd have been a nice big splash of water. And to the left here we have the entrance up to Marina. When I was in there last night, I popped into the it's called the Wheelhouse, the pub there. Saw my friend Debbie, she runs it. Had a couple of beers with a couple of Guinnesses with her and some locals. That was nice, catching up. Yeah, up to Marina, it's mainly yogurt pots in there, but there are quite a few wide beams and narrowboats as well, but like I say, mainly river boats, yogurt pots, wedding cake, jelly moulds. The list goes on. And this is us coming down to where the grain barges unload, so it's I've been keeping right to the bank on the way down here, and in case I bump into them, literally coming around the corner. But after we get past here, don't have to worry then. I can just get into the middle of the stream, which I'm actually going to do now because they're moored up and they go nowhere for 5 minutes. But yeah, they unload down here. Chimney in the way, sorry. See how the aggregate barges, not grain barges, it's unloading here onto the conveyor belt. I'm not sure what that's, probably used for road building, I would imagine. I think the company that runs it, I think they're called Thompson's, if I remember correctly. And all their boats are named after fish, like, you know, you've got chub there, one called perch. And you see them down on the Gloucester Sharpness canal quite a bit. They get a lot of work done down at Davis's, so it's quite common to see them in the lovely, in the junction at Salt Junction, where the Gloucester Sharpness canal joins the Stroud water canal. See, he's under power there just to hold the barge there whilst it gets unloaded. That used to be a lot further down, that where they used to unload. It used to be down by the M50 bridge, but they've obviously moved it up here now. This is the old oil wharf where the barges used to come up the Severn all the way up from the sea and used to unload the oil. Not there now, but memories. Pretty sure if you looked on the internet you'd be able to find out a little bit more and probably how it used to look. And we're just passing under the M50 motorway now. Great big iron bridge. This is us getting down towards Tewkesbury now, where you can turn off to go up the River Severn if you so desire. Not my cup of tea. River Severn's a nice river, but it goes into flood very quickly. So you've got to watch out if it's been raining and you're planning a trip on the Avon. Just get in contact with the Avon Navigation Trust who run the river. It's not a canal and river trust river. You have to buy a licence. I think it's about £50 for a week, something like that. Yeah, and that will take you up to Stratford-on-Avon, for Evesham, Pershore, lots of lovely places. And this wharf on the left here, that is where the aggregate, not grain, aggregate barge used to load. So behind there's lakes which they obviously dug to get the aggregate out the ground, and they used to fill the barges up here, and then they used to head upstream to where we saw them earlier, unloaded. So every time if you drive down the M50 and you come across the River Severn, if you look down, you will see all the lovely lakes which are on the other side of there, which we can't see because we're on a narrowboat and that's 10 foot high. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Well, we're still on the river. We're not far off of Tewkesbury now. Spike, will you stop whinging or you'll be going for a swim? Okay? Shut it. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we're just approaching Mythe Bridge in Tewkesbury. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's so boring on this river sometimes. When it's rainy and it's grim and the weather's miserable, there's nothing to do. Just sit on the tiller all day. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It has its good points. I'm just in a bit of one of those sections where there's just nothing to see really. It's just farmland and banks here. There's no kind of features or anything like that to kind of look at. The Severn is, because it goes into flood, the banks are quite high, so you get parts where you just can't see anything basically, apart from rivers. So apart from the river and the odd cormorant and heron after its dinner. So, yeah, so hopefully we'll go around the corner here and we'll be in Tewkesbury. We're going to Mythe Bridge, past the pumping station, to past the entrance to the Avon, which I mentioned earlier, which takes you actually into Tewkesbury for the moorings. So if you're going to stop in Tewkesbury, go up that way, and then past the weir and into the Load Lock. So that'll be the last lock before we head down and lock into Gloucester. And it's just started raining. Brilliant. Alright, this is us just entering Tewkesbury. This is Mythe Bridge. Lovely old Victorian bridge. And Tewkesbury's definitely worth a stop. It's a medieval. They've taken down the old boathouse. That's gone. Oh. It's a big, it's a lovely medieval, it's a beautiful bridge. Medieval town. And they have a lovely medieval festival every year, which is always worth a visit. And the building you see ahead here, this is the Severn Trent pumping station. In the Great Flood of 2007, that actually they had to put sandbags around it because the Severn was so high it nearly breached the walls into it and flooded the pumps, which would have meant that a lot of houses in the local area wouldn't have had any water supply. So it was really touch and go, and they put a lot of sandbags there and a lot of pumps and had to pump it out. So, but luckily it kept on going, so well done Severn Trent. They've got a crane there. I wonder if they quickly pull me out and just black the boat and then put me back in at the end of the week. That'd be nice. Save me a few £100. Right, next stop, the entrance to the Avon. And there's some poor gits on a blooming narrowboat coming the other way. You see the water it's pushing just to make headway. That puts a lot of strain on your engine. Sod that. And this is us going past the entrance to the River Severn, which takes you to Tewkesbury. You can just see Tewkesbury Abbey in the distance there. Yeah, I think there's that's the Avon there. Blink and you'll miss it. Welcome to the River Severn. You want to stay to the right here, because just after this corner is there's the board. So just after this corner is a weir, and it's got a bit of a pull on it, especially at the moment because the river's nearly in flood. So River Severn navigation Stratford on Avon, Worcester and Gloucester, and we're going Gloucester, we're going this way. So yeah, so I'm just going to stay right over to the right here. Hopefully, because the boat's just come out the lock, he'll have the gates open and the light will be green and we can Scooby-Doo straight in there. Otherwise we'll have to tie up on the pontoon in the waiting area. Give him a peep, wake him up. There we go, we're on green, lovely. Not sure if you can see that traffic light. There's a weir down there. Stay well away from that. There'll be a good flow going down there. We kind of hang around these eddies down here. Just keep out the way. I actually come up with a friend of mine, Ziggy, years ago up here, and he had some problems with his engine, and he came out of this lock and his engine decided he'd had enough. And he started drifting towards the weir, so I had to quickly get to him and tie him on to my boat and drag him away, and oh, it was close. Yeah, see, we've moved that a little bit further now. This is the pull of the weir pulling us over. You don't want to be over there, stay over here. Green light says we're safe to go in the lock. There's your landing stage for when the lock isn't ready for you. Or if you come down here and the lock's closed, you can stop overnight down there. You'll have to lock through. It's not a mooring, so you have to lock through first thing in the morning. Right, just going into the lock now. I'll let you be because I need both hands because I've got to tie the rope up onto the chain. Right, that's us in the lock, like I say, tied up to the wire rope. These here, that's what you need to tie up to. And the gates are closed behind us, and we're just slamming, just dropping the lock down. That's the gates just starting to open now. Time to get out of here. And this is just leaving load lock. Big old lock, this one. Leaving load lock entrance, and I thought I'd just quickly show you the weir. See that flow coming down, a little bit of water moving down there. The river is nearly in flood, that's why I want to get down to Gloucester before they shut the bloody thing again. So just coming past the lower load. This is private moorings on the top bit, and the lower load's a pub, by the way. Good pub. Yeah, there's the visitor moorings for the pub. You see on the side here. If you fancy a pint after you come out the lock or before you go in the lock, as long as you've got enough time, pop in here. I think you can even stop overnight if you like, if you want. Quite nice, but as usual, try and moor up considerably. Don't leave like a massive kind of gap in between. Like don't leave like if there's like two boats and you don't moor right in the middle. Try and keep the gap in between the boats minimum to try and fit on as many boats as possible. Really annoying when you come past and there's no moorings because somebody's moored in the middle of a massive gap. And that's the load. The Lower Load Hotel. What's a hotel as well? I never knew that. Yeah, they do some good ciders in there. They do a lot of meats, like biker meats and bits like that. You can even see the motorbike hedge. Very good. Centre of the picture. Oh, we've got the gimbal. Yeah, it's getting windy now. That can only mean one thing. Rain. And there's the Gloucester College boathouse, and you can actually, that's Tewkesbury side of the river there, and what you can do in the summer, I'm not sure if they still do it, I imagine they still do, you can actually walk down from Tewkesbury to here, you call the pub, and they will send the ferry out, and he will come across the river. Oh, there's a campsite here as well, by the way, I forgot to mention. A little campsite as well. I'm not sure if it's a campsite or a certified location, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, they'll send the ferry out and it'll come over the river and collect you, which is quite nice. We're just passing the yew tree in here. More in for patrons only. So if you're going to stop there, hop in, have a meal, and then you've got the sailing club here as well. Yeah, so if you're coming down in the summer when the weather's a bit better, especially at the weekends, you've got the lots of sailing boats kind of farting and darting around here, so just keep an eye out for them. Yeah, the river's got quite wide now. It does now. Obviously we're getting the further south, the nearer the sea we get, the wider the river gets. As you can see, she's a big old girl. Yeah, but we're plodding on. The widest part is just above the partings. It goes down to Gloucester. It's quite a good flow in that bit. So, yeah, the weather's a bit ropey. Hopefully the rain will hold off. I haven't been soaked to the bone yet today, which is a refreshing change on this journey. But we have had a little bit of rain. I can live with that. Anyway, we're making good progress now. Flying along. Where are we? Check the map. We're coming round the corner towards Hall Bridge, and there's a pub there as well, which I've never been in because it's always been closed when I've gone past. And Andrew from Tales from the Swan's Neck, you'll like this pub, mate, because it's a Wadworth pub and they sell 6X, which is your favourite beer, isn't it? So if you're ever coming down to Severn, stop at Hall Bridge. You alright, Spike? What's up, mate? Right, got the chimneys in the way. So this is Hall Bridge, and you're told when navigating this bridge by the Nicholson's Guide to navigate through the West Arch, which is the one on the right in this case because we are heading south. And this pub has actually been closed for a bit, but I was told by my good friend Bill Price that it's actually open again, but probably closed at the moment because of the COVID. I've never been in there because it's been closed for years. But I've been told it's a good pub. There are moorings here which are floating. There's a floating pontoon. I'm pretty sure there used to be some more moorings here as well. There was like a load of kind of skiff barges, like, you know, like flat bottom barges on a pontoon, but it seems like there isn't at the moment. Don't know where they've gone, but yeah, I can't remember the name of this pub. Like I said, I've never been in there. There you go, what is it called? The Bridge Inn. Unsurprisingly. Yeah, watch it on these piers here when you go past. They're oh yes, had a lick of paint. Must be doing it up. They're yeah. See, there's quite a bit of a flow on the water. The Hall Bridge Inn. There you go. Oh, I take it back. Sorry, Andrew. It hasn't got a Wadsworth sign on it anymore. They must have sold it. So you're not going to get your 6X in there, mate. And we got 9 miles to Gloucester, and we've done 5 miles from Upper Load Lock, which, to be honest with you, was bloody brilliant. We are flying. So we'll get to Gloucester before the weather turns for the worse, I think. We're just at Fletcher's Leap, Wayne Load Hill at the moment, and there's a obstruction in the river down here, and you're told to keep right, and that would obviously, if you're coming upstream, would be to keep left. You'll see this great big pole, which has a lot of driftwood caught around it. So yeah, and there's a rubber dub up there. Can't remember what it's called. Is it the Red Line or something? I can't remember. I've never been there, only ever been past. It's a shame it hasn't got moorings. I suppose you couldn't get to them anyway because of the obstruction in the water. Yeah, there's a lot of obviously the erosion of the hill here by the river. What they did is they sank a load of barges on the bank, on the far bank, and basically that's just to help combat the erosion. So that's why you can't go to the left, you need to keep right. So see this big pole there, keep right. Yeah, the Red Line, and look at that, there's people out there eating and drinking, and I'm on a boat going down a cold river. Yeah, and this, if you ever go walking up here, don't be tempted to go along this little beach bit here, because there's something in the water, better watch out. There's a lot of landslips here as well, so yeah. We'll just mooch on round here. This is Fletcher's Leap, part of Wayne Load Hill. This is us just going past the boat at Ashleworth. Nice little pub. There's actually spaces on the mooring. Actually, you look at that mooring, it might look like there's spaces, but a lot of that mooring is actually collapsed. There's no decking on the middle bit. I'm sure you can see that. But yeah, nice little pub, a little weird little pub. It's kind of got little nooks and crannies and rooms all over the place. So yeah, very nice. And that's us then, basically. There's the next feature on the river will be the partings where the river splits. I was on about earlier on, and goes over the weir or go down to Gloucester. Don't cock up that decision. You want to stick to the left. So yeah, so next stop the partings, and then we'll be following the parting down to Gloucester Lock. And when you get to the partings, there's a big sign on the side of a bridge that says phone Gloucester Lock. So you've got to phone Gloucester Lock and let them know that you're coming. But there's nothing worse than going around the corner and seeing Gloucester Lock and the gates are closed. It means you have to try and tie up along the quay side onto the chains, which is, when you're on your own, it ain't fun. So right, see you in a bit when we get to the parting. Right, okay. Welcome to Brollycam. We've just hit a bit of a weather front, so we're just coming up to the parting here. This is where the river splits. I would show you on the map, but it's a little bit wet for that, I'm afraid. So we want to keep right over to the left here, which I'm just starting to do now, because the river splits here into 2 narrow bits, and there will be a bit of a pull down towards Maysmore Weir on the right hand side. So yeah, it's not the nicest of days. I was hoping to get to Gloucester before we hit this weather front. I could see it on the weather radar, and I checked on the phone earlier on. It was coming up, and it's pretty much like this for the rest of the day now. So I'll try and record, but the thing is, I've got the wind blowing the brolly. I've got to get into Gloucester Lock. That's my main priority. Obviously safety for myself and the dogs. Right, so here we are. This is a parting where the God bloody hell, where the river splits. There's a bit of a pull over here, so I want to just get round. Oh, the weather timed this just right, didn't it? You get. You have to put a bit more throttle on in a minute. Yeah, we don't want to go down there. That's a weir. We're heading around this way. Oh, there's a bit of a pull. I'm not sure. I might have to do a bit more throttle. Oh no, it just started reacting. That's alright. Yeah, it's not very nice on the river today. Bloody horrible, in fact. Oh, there we go. Just lost the thing, lost the pull. Yeah, so we're going broadside basically. There we go. We're just going past it now. And the spike's gone inside. He's like, sod this, I ain't staying out here. And the temperature has just dropped. My hands are raw. We'll get down the partings now. We'll fly down here like a turd in a sewer. Oh, sorry if you're having dinner. Where's the tiller? Oh God, trying to steer with my elbows. Hold the phone. It's freezing. Right, and that was the parting. I better go. It gets narrow down here and I'm going to be absolutely flying along. And I've got to phone Gloucester Lock in a minute, so everything's getting wet. I'll see you in a sec. Ah, just another day on the River Severn. Living the dream, living the dream. I love the River Severn. And there's lightning as well. And there's me with a great big metal rod in my hand. And it's bend. Hopefully it'll finish in a minute. We ain't not a million miles off the Gloucester Lock. I've just phoned the lock. He's asked me to call him when I get to the road bridge. I forgot to mention earlier, when you call the lock, ask him if there's any traffic coming up, because you get some big boats coming up here and you go around these bends, you want to be aware that there's if there's anything coming. So a bit of advice, make sure you ask the lock keeper if there's any traffic coming. Oh, I don't know what the sound's going to be like. I ain't got the microphone in because I've had to take it out to make. Oh, there we go. Oh God, bloody hell, get off that bank now, you're going to run aground. Oh, flipping heck, this is not enjoyable boating. Oh, I just eased up a bit, thank God. Hopefully it'll sod off in a minute. It can't stay like this for long. This is like torrential. Oh, it's easing off, I think. Oh, if I'd have left an hour earlier this morning, see, we'd have missed all this. A canopy. Living the dream. Oh. Should be in a pub, having a nice pint of ale next to an open fire. Bloody COVID. At least I got loads of coal on the fire in the boat, so it'd be nice and warm when I get into Gloucester docks and get inside and warm myself up. I'm bloody freezing at the moment. Oh no, it's getting heavier again. Oh, not enjoyable. Not enjoyable boating. Well, you'll get through the hard times to get to the good, aren't you? Love it. Goodness, I've got the brolly on me. It might be a bit difficult, folks, to film Gloucester Lock, because I'm going to need all hands there. I can't hold the brolly, and the camera and the gimbal's not waterproof, so yeah, a bit of Bit of a dodgy one that. I'll see if I can get in now. Obviously it's the end of the journey down to Gloucester, so it would have been nice being out to film it. But we are in a big weather front at the moment, and it doesn't look like it's gonna stop anytime soon. Oh, I didn't see this coming. I knew it was going to be raining, but I didn't know it was going to be like torrential. Very nice. And the temperature, oh, must have dropped about 5 degrees. It's bloody freezing. I've got like a t-shirt, a nice big woolly weird fish jumper, and a wax jacket, and I am cold. So, yeah, see your breath in the air. So yeah, hopefully we'll get around that corner and that blooming lock gate will be open and just get straight in there. No messing around. And that'll be it on the bloody River Severn for a bit. Ooh. Warm myself up. I'm freezing. Right, I'll catch you in a bit. It's bloody cold! I don't know what's happening with the weather, it's just got really bloody cold. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking, I can't stop shaking, I'm bloody freezing. Oh. When you get to this lock, oh god, it says Gloucester Lock, half a mile, and you've got to call Gloucester Lock, and then I've already done it, so I want to be sure he's going to have the gate open. Just phone him to let him know. Make sure he's got that gate open for you, because you don't want to come around this bend, not this bend but the bend in a bit, and then find the gate shut, because that's a shitter. Right, the rain has eased off a tiny little bit, but hardly at all. It's friggin' freezing. We're back on the gimbal now, so hopefully it shouldn't be shaking so much. This is Eastgate Bridge, so we basically go around to the left here, and then we go around to the right past the old prison on the quayside, and then straight into Gloucester Lock. So I'll try to my best to record it, but it is it's probably going into Gloucester Lock is probably one of the most dangerous parts of the river, because there really is a good pull and the lock is on a corner. So when it's been raining like this, I mean, you can see the kind of water that's going into the river at the moment. It's really flowing. Yeah, a bit of a bugger. At least I know there's nothing coming, so I can cut the corners. Well, there better not be anything coming anyway. Oh. I just let it run now because my fingers are that numb I can't operate the buttons on the camera. So if it gets boring, I'll edit it out, make it a bit quicker. Oh, the rain's getting heavy again now. Last thing we wanted. Oh god, it's so cold. It's May. It feels like it's January. Oh, this rain would do one. That would be nice. Holding the umbrella is really kind of cocking things up, because my arm's getting a bit sore now, but the wind's blowing it. Oh, this is not enjoyable boating. Right. I hate the parting. It's a real horrible little part of the river. This is us coming up to Gloucester. My feet are going numb now, starting to lose feeling in my toes. I've got walking boots on, and I didn't have my flip-flops on. Right, just round this corner to get down the quayside, and then we'll get in Gloucester Lock. And he wants me on the side with the lock office on it, which is the left-hand side. Oh man, and the battery's getting a bit low on the camera. Hopefully it'll last. So that would be a bit of an anticlimax, wouldn't it, getting to the end of the blooming journey, and the camera going dead. Oh, come on man, come on. I'm freezing. snortage on the go. Oh, I hope this gimbal's taking these shakes out, because I am shaking like a shitting dog at the moment. Excuse my language. I feel a bit dizzy as well. My blood pressure's dropped right down. Oh, it's not a good place to be dizzy. Right, so we're go around this corner here, and there's another sign to tell us to keep to the left. Concentrate now. Right, so we should go around here and you'll see Gloucester Lock. Oh. And that little brown sign. It's welcome to the city of Gloucester. You'll never leave. Yeah, the river is quite up the walls, so there is a good bloody flow in this river. I just want to get off the river now. I've had enough of the River Severn. So there's the green light for the lock to say it's open. I'm going to go in. I've got to get right up against the wall here, out the flow. I don't want to be pulled around the corner and down the weir. I hate this part of the river. I really do hate this part of the river. And fair play to the lock keeper. He's got it all ready for me, so I'll right on the wall we want to get here. I shouldn't really be filming, to be honest. I should have one arm on the tiller and one arm on the blooming throttle, really, in case I need to give it a blip. But I've done this before. I think we'll be okay. You can see all the water cascading out the lock down there. Not enjoyable. This is a really dangerous bit of bloody river, this is. Get right across here, and the flow will pull me over, and then as soon as I get through them lock gates, as soon as my bowels and them that lock, I'm gonna drop this brolly, and I may have to drop the camera as well. I want to drop the brolly and hit a bit of reverse, because we were shifting, as you can see. And this is where you tie up. Right, so I'm going to drop the brolly. Don't want that. Oh, we're just coming in. That's where you don't want to go, down there. And I want to get in and hit the brakes. Alright, okay, let's hit them brakes. Straighten up. Hey mate, I bloody hate this river. Oh, it's not enjoyable, no, it's horrible. Right, so I'm in reverse at the moment. Spike it in. We'll get up underneath the road bridge. Spritting on the phone's gone blank, so I'm not sure if I've lost you or not. Right, I'm in Gloucester Lock. See you in a bit. Yeah!